Hi friends, so I'm here again with the new video. So before going to start this video, I would like to say something that is, I always try to create or make the videos uh, which I found that people face problem uh, using those concepts and all because they don't have the basic knowledge of that. So I try to create videos and clarify all the basics need which is required. So I would like to ask you guys if you have any problem or any doubt where I can help, I can create, make the videos, then please write those things in the comment and I will give the solution as well as I will try to give some basic knowledge of that problem so that if in coming future you have similar kind of problem or any problem which is required that basic knowledge, then you don't need to be takes anyone's help or go to the internet and all. You can build that particular logic from that particular basics only. So yeah, so that I want to say. So we'll start this video, and today's topic is all about the UI label and how we can use the content hugging and content resistance priorities. So I have divided this session into three parts. This is the first one, which is UI label necessary constraints versus others, where we'll see that how what are the constraints required for this label. And the second is how to apply constraint for UI label. We'll see that what are the different uh, ways by which we can apply the UI label based on our need. And third is very very important, for which I am going to create make this video. This is content hugging and content compression resistance priority. So we'll go here. So as I said, like the first topic is what are the necessary constraints for the UI labels. So first let me take one UI view so that I can explain this topic. So if you'll see that for this UI label, let me give some background colors. I have given the light gray. So this is perfectly fine right now because we haven't applied any constraint here, right? So we'll see that if we are going to, so we all know, if anyone knows about the auto layout, that it requires at least four constraint if we talk about most of the views, right? So here we'll see if we are going to give the constraint that top and the leading only. So let's say I have given the 20 and this 20, then you can see that we are getting some errors, right? Why this error we are getting? Because we haven't give the width and height or the trailing or the bottom constraint. So this, the auto layout is not able to recognize that what is the behavior of this view. So if I go to here for the constraint, so it's asking for the missing width and height. So if I'm going to give the width and height, that is 241.28 here, so let's give the same. It's perfectly fine. So here if you'll see for the for this view that we have given the four constraints. Again, if I'm going to remove this width and height, again the same problem comes, right? But if I'm going to give this leading, let's say 154, and this one, then again there will be no error for the constraints, and we can see that all four constraints are there, right? If like that only, if I don't want this top one, correct, we don't want this leading one, okay, we don't want this trailing, we don't want this one. So again we can give some different way, the horizontally and vertically center, sorry, horizontally and vertically center this view, and I can give some width and height again. So again this views all constraint will satisfy this view and will not give any error. So it's up to us. Like, so here I shown you that three ways to satisfy the constraint, and in all three ways you can see that we have to give minimum four constraints. So you can use equal width, equal height in respective to other views if there are any in the same screen. So it's up to you how you are going to use. But the same thing if we'll talk about the UILabel, because this session is based on UILabel. So what I'll do, I'll take one UILabel, okay, and if I'm going to give just top, that is 20, and leading 20, then you'll see we don't have any errors. We have some warnings because currently I'm using the Xcode 10.2.1, this one. So in previous Xcode, if I'll talk about up to 10.1, you will not going to get that warning also. So this is not error. You can run your code and it automatically working fine for this label. So few people ask this question in interviews also, that what are the minimum constraints required to satisfy a one UILabel? So answer is two. Only two constraints you can give, and your label will be there will be no problem for that label is respective to the constraints. So if I want to remove, I'll just clear the constraints. If I want that to give that horizontally and vertically center, then again it's perfectly fine. Here you can see in this scenario there is no warning also, right? So here we are not going to width and height, because UI label automatically adjusts the width and height. That's why we are not getting any errors in the case of UILabel. So this was the first point. I hope you guys understand that UILabel necessary constraint versus others. So we just compare with the UI view and UILabel. UILabel will satisfy with the two constraints which you can give, and because the width and height is automatically adjustable based on the content of that label, correct? Now the second one, how to apply constraint for UILabel. So here in this case, if I select this label and go to change some text, uh, so I'll just let me copy this label and paste several times. Sorry. Okay, so here you can see it's going outside, right? But we don't want this. So in this case, what we have to do, I can give the leading and trailing. So this will be 20 and this will be 20. See, now this is fine. So this is the first scenario where we have to manage this label. So in this case, you can give the leading and trailing, or again, let me clear these constraints and we'll see that whatever we gave uh, the first time, if you remember, I have given the top 20 and the leading 20, correct? In this case also you can see that it's going outside because there is no trailing constraints, correct? So if text is less, then it will look very good. There is no issues, nothing. It's, but if you have any view at right side or you don't have, then also text is big, then it's going to be. So if you want to truncate, you can give the trailing. So let's say I have given the trailing constraint. Again, I'll copy paste these things few times. See, this is fine. But you want that it should be increase the height, then what we can do here, that will do make it line 0, line number 0, because that was fixed line number 1 in a single line we are giving, so that's why it's taking single line. So you can give 2 3 4, any number of line, whatever your requirement of the text, but people prefer 0 so that it automatically adjusts the height. It, if you are going 2 3 lines, then it's gonna fix somewhere. If you're getting the bigger text, then it's gonna be problem for you. So that's why. So this is the this was the second topic, that how to apply constraints. So yes, we can apply constraint to the UILabel, two minimum constraints, and it's gonna be work. But for the specific UI design or based on the requirement of the screen design, you have to give some more constraints to the UILabel, and these are the constraints which satisfy the um UILabel, right? So now we'll come to the third point, which is very important, the UILabel content hugging, content compression resistance priority. Okay, so what I'll do here, I will remove this UILabel, and to this view I have given the constraints, okay, width and height, fine. So what I'll do, I will increase some width so that I can give some examples. So here I'm giving 360, let's say, perfectly fine. So this is my label, sorry, this is my UI view, and I will explain that what is content hugging priority and what is content compression resistance priority. So let me explain first that what is the scenario when these terms come into picture. So for this scenario, I have to take again one UI label, and that label I will take inside this view. Okay. And what I'll do, I'll give the vertically center to this container, and also I will give the leading constraints. Okay. As I explained earlier, two constraints are more than sufficient. So in this case, I have given the uh, vertically center and the leading constraint. So here you can see there is some warning. Yes, warning will be there for the label as I explained earlier. So what I'll do, again I will take one more label. Okay, see this label, and I will give the same thing, but this time I will give the trailing constraint to this label, that is 20. Sorry, I have taken the outside actually of this view. Okay, so this 20 I have given trailing 20, and I'll give the same vertically center. So now this is satisfied. Again warning is there, let it be for now. And also what I'll do, I will increase the font size. So let's make it 23 for now. Okay, so it's a very clear that this is UILabel and this is UILabel. Also what I'll do, I will give the background color to this label. Let's say blue. Okay, blue is looking fine. Again here I will give some different color I need. So okay, this is also looking fine. See, so we haven't given any width to this label, but it's automatically taking the based on the text font size and the text. So this is called intrinsic size, you can say. So what we'll do, so here you can see that if I'm going to copy this label and again paste few times, okay, this is perfectly fine. Here again if I paste 4 times, then what will happen? This will overlap. Why this red one or orange one comes on top of the blue one? Because in the hierarchy this label is below, or this is the top one, that's why. But we really don't want this, right? So what we'll do, we'll give some leading constraint to this label, or the trailing of the first to the first one. So I have given this 20. Okay, here we can see that we have given this, right? But this is the problem. What is the problem here? Here the auto layout is not able to recognize that which view you want to grow or which view you want the clip, right? So this is the hugging property. You can say that this first label and second label is going to hug each other if the second label text is also going to increase, right? But as I have given this leading 20 for the first level, that's why it's truncating. But even though auto layout is not able to recognize, so in this case content hugging comes into picture. So it's very simple and very that what is content hugging property. So this priority. So you have to give some priority to some particular some views. So here we have two labels. So what I'll do, I'll give some more priority to one label. So what that priority is gonna do, if we are giving a larger priority to any view, that it indicates that we don't want to grow that view to larger than its content, again intrinsic size. Okay, so what I'll do here I will increase the priority of 2. Okay, so it means we don't want to grow this more than that. So here let me change the label so that we can give some. So what I'll do, first name label. Okay, and here I'll give the second name label. Okay, so what I have done here, I have given to second one, that's 252. So again, if I'll do this 251, and the same I'm going to apply to this first label, this size. Okay, fine. Okay, and I will remove here the second label. Okay, so here you can see that this first name and this second name is perfectly fine, and you can see here that I have given the horizontal hugging priority 252 to this first label. So what I have told you, that higher the priority, it means that we don't want to grow to that particular view larger than its content. So here I have given the first label, so we are not allowing to this label width to grow more than its content. So if I am going to the same thing to this second label, see, so now first label grow their width, but second not, correct. So it's pretty much clear that if hugging priority is higher, then it means that we don't want to grow the width of that particular label, here in this case, more than its content. Clear? So this is the first one. So we have cleared this topic, content hugging, and here you can see that there is no problem at all, correct. Now we'll see the second one, that is the content compression resistance. So what happens here? So now everything is fine. We are not going to do any change in the constraint, but again we'll face the problem. So what we'll do? I have given this UILabel. See, the problem comes. Again I have given this label. So again problem. So there is again one error. So what is this error and why this error? Because we haven't changed any constraint here for both the labels, right? Just we increase the text length, you can say. So here, so what is happening again, this auto layout is not able to recognize in this case that again which view want to grow and which view want to clip. Okay, because anyhow if some text is bigger than, so let's say suppose we have here width is 360, but the content of both label is more than 360. So here auto layout is getting confused that as so that which one you want to be fully shown and which one you want to clip. So in this case, this resistance priority comes into picture. Again, this is on the priority. So what it means that if you are going to give higher priority to someone, some label. So if you are giving again the higher priority to some label here, then it means that we don't want the view to shrink smaller. Okay, so let's say this is the first label. What I'll do, I'll give the 51. See, I have given the higher priority. So this label is visible. This is not truncated right now. Again, we'll check the same thing for the second label. So what I'll do, I will give C. So whatever priority is high, that content here will not be shrink. Correct? So here you can see that for the first label, this is 750. But for the second label, this is 751, which is higher than this first label. So that's why it's coming proper. Again, if I'm giving 751, again it's error because both 751, so both are similar. Again, this will work. So this is the way by which you can apply the content hugging and content resistance, compression resistance priorities, and adjust views or adjust these labels based on your requirement of the application or the screen design. Fine. So guys, I think I have cleared all these three things, and I tried to clear your basics on this so that you can, if you are going to face any problem in future related to these topics, you can easily fix those. So thanks guys to watch this video, and if you like this video, please subscribe my channel, and please post messages in comment if you are facing any auto layout related problem, iOS related problem, any concept of iOS related problem. I will happy to make the videos on that. Thank you.